broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Welcome to CEO Mondays with Jen, where we reclaim our time and energy while maximizing our profits every week by becoming the CEO of our business and our life. I'm Jen Gaudet, your fearless host, speaker, entrepreneur, and investor. And today I am really excited to bring to you two amazing guests in studio. We have got a special episode. We are talking about health and wealth all day today because it's essential for us as entrepreneurs to be the absolute healthiest individuals that we are, so that we can then bring that into our lives, in our business lives, and that will bleed over into everything we do. The ripple effect will impact our families, our staff, our employees, our business partners, our communities, and our world. So without further ado, I want to welcome you to the studio with me, Rick Salmeron, CEO, and that's Chief Experience Officer of his company. Rick, welcome to the studio.
Hi, Jen. I'm so happy to be your fearless guest today.
And he is fearless.
Yes.
So, Rick, tell us a little bit about what you do.
I am a financial planner. I have a wealth management company in Dallas, Texas. I've been in this business for 30 years.
Wow.
My company's been in business for 20. You're looking at the company.
I'm seeing the company right here.
I'm a solopreneur and darn proud of it too.
That's awesome.
I serve a lot of people who are successful, working to get to that next level, entrepreneurs, running their own business. They've got busy lives. They've got, say, kids. They're focused on what they know how to do right, and they want to look for someone who's a trusted professional over their shoulder in this very important part of their life, which is, for all of us, their money.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, we can't have holistic health if we don't have financial health.
Yeah, very true, very true. I love how you say health is wealth. Wealth is health. It's so true. I think financial wealth is a representation of a healthy part of one's life. However, if we don't have our health, we have nothing. And I'm a true believer of that. That's a strong philosophy that I have.
Absolutely. And welcome back to the studio. We have Paula Cook. She is partner of Odyssey Now TV.
Yes, excited to be back, everybody, and really excited about today's topic because as entrepreneurs, we're so busy making the money. As Rick was saying, we need somebody to help us manage that money. And when we finish working, we want something to be there to be able to retire from and enjoy and choose how we spend it. So I'm so excited today to hear about how wealth is health and health is wealth.
So let's get right down to the nitty-gritty. Tell me, as most of our viewers are entrepreneurs, ontrepreneurs, executives, we want to hear, how is it with our busy lives? We're high performers, we're doing all the things, we're really good at money making. How is it that we are able to take the time to find somebody who can help us with our journey in finances or in health?
It's a very important aspect of life. Finding someone that can support you on this financial journey. It's like a coach, frankly. I mean, all of us, from the day that we were born, day one into day two, we don't make it to day two without someone else being in our lives, when you think about it. And that goes for many areas of our life, and one of those is your money. You're an entrepreneur, you're making good money, the revenue is strong. What do I do now? It's very imperative to find someone that you trust, that you feel confident in, that knows what they're doing, that they're seasoned and experienced to help you as the entrepreneur make smart decisions with their money.
And I have a question, because I've gotten this question before. How do we know whether we are healthy in our finances?
You want to look at your past results of your life. And what areas do you feel like could be better? Is it, gosh, my pot of gold is just, I know it's not going to be strong enough.
Wait, I don't have a pot of gold.
That could be another result. The results in your life will show what you're strong in and what you're not so strong in. And when we find what those soft spots are, sometimes the solutions to fulfill or satisfy or take care of those soft spots are obvious, and we just need someone else to help edge us along and move us along. And in some cases, it takes someone from the outside in, that we're blind, we're not able to see what's missing. Because the truth is, all of us, we can't see everything. We do walk around with blinders on, right?
That's right.
And we want to make sure that we're not missing something that's very important. That's where the help of an outside advisor comes into play, or an outside coach comes into play.
I really like that you said that, because something that I like to say is, as a coach, right? If you go into a dark room, like imagine like the darkest, gloomiest closet, and you've got a flashlight, and that's kind of us in business or in life or in our health, really, right? We're walking around and all we can see is where we're flashing the light. And maybe there's some that's a little gray over here, but we're missing the whole rest of the room. And so to me, coaching turns on the light switch, because we're here with our flashlight. We didn't even realize there was a switch that illuminated the whole room.
For sure. You can have a spare set of batteries in your pocket. That's still not going to do you a whole lot of good, because the flash beam only covers so much area, right?
Yeah, and we can only be experts in so many things. So I really love that you said that your financial advising is a lot like coaching, because I think we can relate to that. A lot of people have had a sports coach, or have had a business coach, or someone who's a personal trainer with their health. Which we're going to get to in a moment, but having somebody who's kind of like a wealth coach in a way, and an advisor can really help us to get that little kick in the butt we need to pay ourselves first, because entrepreneurs seem to forget to put themselves on the top line and pay themselves first.
Yeah, the entrepreneur is focused, 100% of their energy is focused on what's that top 1% of activities that I need to do like every single day to get to the next level. And that's great. That's a great rule of thumb to adopt. However, when you do that, that energy is not being focused on other important aspects of your life. And this is where the imbalance of life comes into play, is that we're not focusing on our health. We're not focusing on our money. Is our money in the right places? Is it in smart places, working for us in the manner that we want it to, so that we can go ahead and carry about our business as entrepreneurs? So that's where a coach helps. That's where an advisor helps, so that you can see and have a better control of your future.
Well, I will say I'm so excited to be here today. But Rick, when I started my business, I had no idea, like when I started making the money, what to do with it. So to our entrepreneurs that are starting up today, if you don't mind, if I can ask a question, Jen, what are the top 3 things that we should be thinking about doing with our money? And of course, if you don't know people like Rick, number one, you may say we need to find a Rick, somebody that can help us. But I'll let you answer that.
Not a bad suggestion. I like that suggestion.
Yes, yeah, me too. So help us, give us like the top 3 things as entrepreneurs that we should be thinking about when we're starting a business with our money.
I'm going to put it this way. There are 3 wealth buckets that everyone should have in various sizes.
Okay.
One is what I call the protect wealth bucket.
Okay.
This would be elements like your savings, cash on hand, etc. This is what I describe as the moat around your castle. Important to have that healthy, so that you can get by day to day, week to week, month to month, for your personal as well as business.
Okay.
The second wealth bucket is your grow wealth bucket. This is where you would find things that would be, say, stock market like investing, or something similar, perhaps real estate, to help, as the name implies, grow your wealth. And you're comfortable doing that because guess what? Your protect wealth bucket is healthy, right? And then the third wealth bucket is what I call the explode wealth bucket.
I like that.
So that's exciting. That's got a glisten to it.
Yes.
At the same time, it's very risky. It can be very risky. So this is why there's got to be a balance amongst the 3. I love the idea of exploding wealth. Who doesn't?
Right.
However, you also need to be careful of aspects of your life. How young are you? How young are you? How not so young are you? Do you have kids? Do you have other family people who are dependent on you? There's a lot of other factors to consider. How my protect, how my growth, and how my explode wealth bucket should look like.
Wow.
That makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And the most thing that makes sense is find a Rick. Find a financial advisor, because that is a lot. That is a lot. Thank you, Rick, for sharing that. That's perfect.
And if you're not writing notes, you definitely want to be taking notes. I'm just going to rephrase real quickly. 3 buckets: your protect wealth, your cash and your savings, your grow wealth, your stocks, your real estate, etc., and your explode your wealth, which of course is the riskiest, because without risk, there, greater risk, greater upside.
Correct.
So we have those 3 buckets. You definitely want to be taking notes on this, because this is action-packed. So Paula, I want to turn to you, because we've heard a lot about the financial wealth side and talked about that side, but what about the health side?
Absolutely. So super excited to talk about this. And this is one thing that Odyssey Now really focuses on, along with the other aspects of your life. But health, as Rick said, without the health, you can't enjoy the wealth. You can have all the money in the world, but if you can't even get out the bed to spend it, or you can't even think of how you want to spend it, or you can't even go to a theme park or to a restaurant, or out with your friends to spend it, then what is the point of having the wealth? So the health is really first. It's like the chicken or the egg, but the health is first. You really have to develop yourself and work on yourself and give yourself that health that you need in order to be able to spend the wealth and make the wealth. So we know that, health comes down to so many things, everybody, but it really is about taking care of self first, so that you can be the best version of you, and then being able to have that wealth to spread to the world.
And so Paula, I know you're a coach as well, and when we talk about this, we talk about advisors and coaches and having the right people in our space. I kind of want to turn this to, how do we know the right coach or the right people in our space? How do we know that Odyssey Now is the right place to turn, for example, for us to be able to work on our mindset and our health and our well-being? How do we know the right people that are going to help us, support us, and grow instead of holding us back? I'd love to ask you that.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we're looking at our circle of people, we like to say our network is really indicative of our net worth. And not just from a money perspective, but from a healthy perspective and a positive perspective. So what we have found is that when you find people that have your same values, they can make you laugh, they can bring positive energy to you and help build you up, instead of the other side of the people that you don't want to be around, and the people that are constantly putting you down and being negative and telling you what you can't do, and just really not there to support you positively. Those are those relationships that you want to quickly get rid of, and search for those ones that are positive and that align with you culturally and what you're trying to do in the world. The beauty of this world is there are billions of people on the earth. So there's plenty of people out there that align with who you are, and you can surround yourself and find those people. And what I find is they're a magnet to who you are. So as you continue to show the world who you are, those people find you just like you find them. So knowing yourself, know thyself, that's my new thing here lately, is know thyself first, so that you can attract the kind of people that can build you up and have positivity in your life.
That is 100% right, Paula. Like, there's the saying, birds of the same feather flock together.
Yes, I agree.
So that's a good measuring stick that one can use, is and your intuition will tell you a lot.
I love it.
Your intuition is a beacon, it's a magnet to other people that you want to be a part of. And I love what Paula said, and I agree with it, that your network is equal to your net worth. And again, net worth could be financial, yet it also means your relationships, your health, the other aspects of your life that are just as important. And the people that you surround yourself with will be the best tribe to get you to that next level in life.
Absolutely. And so briefly, before we have to take a break, when we are growing as individuals, whether we're growing our net worth, whether we're moving into a health journey, whether we are moving into entrepreneurship, because many of our viewers are just launching their businesses, sometimes the people we surround ourselves by are holding us back. How can you sort of sift through and the people who are anchoring you to that old version, not the grown and the newer version of yourself, how can you sort of let that go in a way that is not feeling like rejection, but that serves you in the direction that you're going.
Yeah, if you sense that person's carrying a cup that's half empty and not half full, I love you, however, and say this gently, and I'll just say it out loud so everyone can practice with their own words. I love you so much, however, I need to get some space between our relationship. I still want to stay in touch with you or stay in connection with you. However, I'm going to find my time being spent in some other directions of other pursuits that I feel like I want to accomplish and reach in 2022.
I love it. Sets the boundary, but it has nothing to do with them. I appreciate who you are. I think that's fantastic.
You said it better than I did.
She's a queen at that. She's a queen at that. And I agree with you. What my one thing was going to be communication. Being able to communicate, like you were saying, Rick, and giving that beautiful script, was just being able to communicate that where the nature of, I like to say, sometimes we have to redefine the nature of our association. So being able to communicate how you want to redefine that, and sometimes you give a reason, sometimes you don't. And you just, let that person know where they stand in your life and what you're doing. So you'll tell by their response whether they get excited about it and maybe they can stay in your inner circle, or whether they're not so excited about it and they have to be on the outer circle. So I totally agree with you.
I wish I would have said that.
You did. You started it.
I like to look at it visually. And so if this is you at home and you're struggling with it, like, think about a wedding, when people tuck the chairs to save their seats. I look at it as in entrepreneurship, it's a hard journey. And we can't have anybody who has any negativity because we need everyone to support us and have our back. So if somebody has negativity, we just tuck that chair. And when they can get their cup more full and they can come with the positive attitude, then they can always come and put themselves back at your table. But right now we need that space for people who are positive, who are supportive, who are going to support us on our journey so that we can continue to grow.
We're here at the end of the year, and this is an opportunity to look back what things went right, what things went wrong. And if we didn't experience the growth that we wanted to, maybe that has something to do with the established relationships that we have right now. And it's hard to see that. It's not so obvious to us. However, that could be the key to a better 2022, is identifying which relationships were not so great, which relationships were great, and put more fertilizer on those that are great relationships.
Absolutely. Now you don't touch that dial, but go grab you a pen and paper, because we're going to go through exactly how to make that happen in both your health and your wealth right after this break.
Hi, I'm Jen Gaudet.
And I'm Paula Cook.
We are founding partners of Odyssey Now Television. At Odyssey Now TV, we are leveraging the power of on-demand television to positively impact you, the planet, and humanity. Designed for modern, purpose-driven entrepreneurs and individuals who recognize that wealth is balance, Odyssey Now TV is revolutionizing the delivery of powerful and thought-provoking content.
True success in business and life requires continual personal and professional development, which Odyssey Now TV delivers. We have curated this transformational content by global experts for you directly to your TV and smart devices, anytime, anywhere, and instantly at your fingertips.
The purpose of life is a life with purpose. Join us and become the absolute very best version of you. Visit us at odysseynow.tv and claim your success, wealth, and life balance.
I'm here to take you to a new frontier, the final frontier. In fact, you and I are going where no one has gone before. I'm Glenn Henderson, entrepreneur, success coach, and musician, and I want to personally invite you to take this journey with me in the pages of my best-selling new book, All I Need to Know About Success I Learned from Star Trek. We'll travel aboard the USS Enterprise along with Captain James T. Kirk, Spock, and the finest crew in Starfleet. And we'll learn together about success principles like how to work with a team and accomplish your goals, when to fight for what you believe, and when not to, and what your business really is, no matter what you do for a living. Beam aboard with me. My mission is your success, and I'll see you on the bridge. Live long and prosper.
Have you ever had to hire multiple contractors? It is a daunting task that takes a lot of management time and impacts the core business or the company, the time you spend with your loved ones. At Texas Home Property Solutions, you can count on a responsible company that can tackle all your general contractor needs. Electricity, painting, remodeling, plumbing, air conditioning, and roofing. Hire us and forget it. With over 20 years of experience, Texas Home Property Solution will deliver your project on time and within budget, with the high level of quality and integrity, no matter the size or complexity. If you are a company, a government institution, or an individual who needs a general contractor, you need Texas Home Property Solution. Take a decisive step and call us today for a free consultation.
Welcome back to CEO Mondays with Jen. And if you're just now tuning in, you're going to want to go to nowmedia.tv and catch it from the beginning, because our first segment was absolute gold. We talked about the 3 wealth buckets. We talked about how to find the right people for you who are going to support you in your growth, and so many other things. If you didn't grab a notebook, you're definitely going to want a notebook and a pen, because this is all gems that we're dropping here today. And so I want to dive in a little bit more. We've talked a little bit about health and wealth and finding the right coach or advisor in those spaces. We've also talked about, how to weed through people who maybe aren't right for us anymore in our growth. Now what I want to do is ask you, how do we know the right person to seek out, the right mentor, the right coach for what we're hoping to achieve? Because there's so many out there. I mean, like, I'm a business coach. Everybody knows I'm a business coach. There's a business coach in every corner. But they're not all created equal. How do we choose the right coach or mentor for us?
That's a really good question. It's a hard find sometimes, and it does take a few steps up to the plate, let's say, to find that right person. I would go back to what Paula said in the previous segment, and that was values. Who can I find that I've got a common bond with in terms of my values, what's important to me? I'm just going to speak for myself. And that is, I value honesty, I value integrity, I value authenticity. I want to speak to someone who speaks those qualities, those characteristics. And I can feel that vibe with people. Now, no one necessarily in my trade has some magic bullet that no one else has on the planet Earth. However, there's a very few select people that have high standards when it comes to honesty, integrity, and so on. Those are what I seek out for, and that would be where my radar would go to find who's the right person for me.
I got you. And then I have a follow-up question to that, and that's, a lot of people, I already have a coach. I already have a financial advisor. I already have this. What would you say to them?
I would say to them that, do you know that the average wealthy investor has more than one advisor? They do. In fact, think of the great golf players. How many coaches do they have? One or several?
Oh, several.
Several. And then how does the average wealthy investor grow their wealth? They do it by hedging and diversifying. They do that with their assets, and they do that with their advisors. So as an example, working with someone, I've got an established relationship with somebody, that's great, wonderful. Imagine, however, that you had 2 high-quality people working for you. I would be able to run by any ideas that the current advisor has and give my objective opinion. And I would also expect you to run by any ideas that I have to your person, get their take on it. So this is how the average wealthy investor gets a few steps ahead of their money. They've got 2 high-quality, high-powered professionals working for them. This is what I call the dream team.
I love it, the dream team. And in business we have a dream team. We have legal advisors, we have CPAs, we have coaches, we have financial advisors. All of them work together for us in our business. So why wouldn't we have that in our personal life as well?
Agreed, 100%.
Fantastic. Paula, how about you? What are your thoughts on that matter?
So, and yes to all the things that Rick said, but another thing that I look for is finding someone who I would like my life to look like. So in looking at their life and their accomplishments and how they, like Rick said, operate in honesty and integrity and authenticity and how they move daily, finding someone that I want to be like them, and not be them, but be like them, and move in some of the spaces that they move in, or have the impact that they have, and be able to express my passion like they express their passion. And so I think that it's very important that when you're looking for a mentor, a coach, that you're finding someone that's some steps ahead of you, so that they can help prevent some of the things that may push you back, and they can challenge you to grow. And so like Rick was saying, sometimes it's not just one person, because we have different facets of who we are, and people are different. Everybody has their own DNA. And so you get to go and have many DNAs and many perspectives in your life. So that's really what I look for when looking
That's
for.
a bullseye point, Paula. We need to be ourselves.
Yes.
Aspire to be someone who's, say, greater than myself. Sure, a great lofty goal to pursue. However, it's important to be the person that you are also.
That's
We're
right.
all unique, we're all special, and that part needs to always stay consistent.
I love it. You're right.
That's right. That's that authenticity. I think that they broke the mold when they made me. They broke the mold when they made you. They broke the mold when they made Paula. Every single human being on earth has a unique set of gifts. And it is up to us to own our gifts and to stand in those gifts, and then to share those gifts. Because there's not another person on earth that's exactly like you or you or you or anybody. So I really like that you brought that up. And we've talked a lot about very positive things. I'm going to kind of shift the gear a little bit, and I'm going to ask the question, entrepreneurship is very hard. It's hard. Anybody who tells you that entrepreneurship is easy is lying to you. They're lying to you, because it's something not everything is golden. Not everything is success. If we have 50 or 60 good days, we have a successful growing business. What about the 300 days that are not amazing? What about the days, especially when they string 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bad days in a row, and the morning you wake up and you're like, I'm done. I just want to throw in the towel. I don't want to get out of bed. I don't know why I'm doing this anymore. When you have those days, not if, notice I didn't say if, because we all have those days. I don't care how successful the person is in front of you. We all have days that are not amazing. When you have those days, how do you pick yourself up, get yourself out of bed, and show up?
I remind myself that it's a blessing that I have those days. It's a mindset thing for me, because if, say, I look back in my year and I list, these are all the great things that happened to Rick in 2021, this. Behind those success stories is a lot of bad days. It's a lot of exertion, it's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, because the truth is, it's the law of polarity. I don't get to reach those amazing, incredible life moments and life goals if I don't go through the heartache or the hardship, or however you want to call it, to get there. You have to have one without the other. So if I've got a tough day ahead of me, I could choose to and let me do the Netflix thing for the rest of the day. Or I could say, this is a good sign because when I get through this day, I'm that much closer to what's important to me in life.
I love it.
That's awesome.
Can we see that Netflix day again?
Yes.
I love it.
Oh, it's great.
I love it. I love it. And you know, thinking about that, like Rick was saying, I really liked how you said it's the mindset. It's how you look at it. It's framing it on those days, because 300 days are gonna be, there's more no's than yeses a lot of times. There's more good, you know, bad days than good days. But what we look towards is the good days overshadow the bad days, right? And those are the ones that we lay focus on, and we know that those bad days are leading up to the boom, the good day, and there it is. And so as we continue to, you know, think about the things that could happen that deflate us or that could take that, you know, energy and momentum away, we say no. We say we use those days as the positive turn to build the momentum instead of letting it take us all the way down. And there are, of course, the normal things we do to get out of bed, which is focus on our purpose and, you know, remind ourselves why we're here. And then, you know what I do? I take that breath and I say, you know what? That means I'm on this side of the earth, okay? I'm not underneath, I'm not on the other side.
Right.
You know, what's happening over there, we don't know, but hey, we're not there. And you take that breath, and when you can breathe, that means you have something else left to do.
I love it. And so I heard a couple of different things in that. I heard that it takes a lot of the grind sometimes, and it takes a lot of no's to get your yes. But it's also, what's the flip side is the worst thing hasn't happened,
Right.
because we are drawing breath. And so that in and of itself screams gratitude to me.
Yes.
Like, I'm grateful because I'm alive. And so when we can focus on the positivity, the thing that most people don't tell you is that positive and negative can't coexist at the same time. You can't be in a negative mindset and a positive mindset simultaneously. So if you're in that negative mindset, or you don't have the energy and you just can't keep with the grind, shifting to gratitude or doing something that's going to put you in that positive state will shove that negativity out and energize you to get up with your day. So some of the things that I do, I write out gratitudes. Like if I wake up and I'm like, I just don't know. I ask myself, why am I alive? Well, I believe that I am here on this earth to make a positive impact on one human life today. If I do that today, then good, I've done my deed. Doesn't matter whether it's business or life. Then I ask myself, what am I grateful for? And I immediately go to gratitudes, because you can't be grateful and be negative. It's just not positive.
possible.
It's
Yeah.
not possible.
No room.
And then if that's not enough for me, I turn on my favorite tunes, because when we get our body moving and grooving, it's nearly impossible to stay in that lack of energy, right? So
Yeah.
I play my jams. I might have a little private dance party, just saying. But movement, no matter what that looks like for you, can get that blood pumping and really just energize the body. So I really love that you guys focused on the purpose and on the positive aspect of it. So let me ask you the next question, and that's, when you're in this groove and you're doing all the things and things are going your way, one of the key things that happens in a lot of my clients, my business coaching clients, is they're waiting for the X to fall or the shoe to drop. Have you ever heard that? Oh, things are good. Like, I'm gonna put it to you, because right now the markets are good, real estate's high, stocks are good, like everything's good. But there's still some people who are waiting for the shoe to drop. How do you approach that with your clients? How do you mitigate that fear and also mitigate the risk for them so that they can continue to feel supported and in growth?
In the case of my clients who might say, not many do, however, if they might say, or someone watching, for example, I want to wait to invest because the markets are at all-time highs and I don't want to do it. I'm going to wait till things go down first. And I understand that. However, as of today's taping, the Dow is at like 35,000 or so at an all-time high. With history as our guide, and that's the only guide that we have, and there's nothing guaranteeing for the future, yet with that as our guide, that's what they said when the market was at 30,000 and when it was at 25,000 and so on and so on. So my point is that all-time highs have historically always been replaced by new all-time highs.
That's right.
Okay, unless one believes that we're at the top and it's never going to climb any higher than now for the rest of our lives, then you're on to something. However, I would argue against that. And then for the people who say, well, okay, I want to wait still until things go down, well, what will be your state of mind when it does go down to 30,000 or 25,000 or 20,000? How confident do you feel going in at that point? Odds are probably not very confident. So from a perspective of mine, and I've seen a lot, this is how I address that concern of, I want to wait. Looking back, so many things that we've done in life, right, Jen, right, Paula? Yeah. We wish we would have done much sooner than we did. Do you know what they're going to be saying in the year 2031? They're going to be saying, I wish I would have invested 10 years ago. That's what they're going to be saying. Because that's what they said 10 years ago from today.
Well, you know, and you bring up a point, and it's not just in finances, right? It's in life.
It is.
There's never a right time. There's always a medical bill. There's always some family situation going on. There's always something happening in life. There's always, I'm not fit enough. This isn't happening. There's never going to be a perfect moment for anything. And so really what we need to do is decide, where do we want to go, and does this get us there?
May I confess something? Years ago, I realized I'm a member of AA, and this is called Analytical Anonymous. I used to wait until every light for the next 9 blocks downtown turned green before I took the first step.
Oh, gee.
Wow.
Okay, that was me.
Okay.
Now I've worked really hard since then to exercise that spontaneity muscle, and that's helped me a lot. So I encourage anyone, just based on my experience, taking action on something is far better than doing nothing at all.
Oh, yes. And everybody has heard this before, and I say it frequently.
Yes, you do.
Imperfect action always trumps perfect inaction. Yeah. You will always make more money with an imperfect launch of a product or service than if you don't ever launch it at all.
Done is better than perfect.
Right? Done is always better than perfect. So Paula, how about you? How about, I'm gonna hit the same question that I hit with Rick.
Yeah, so thinking about that, repeat that question for me, Jen. I'm listening, I got lost, and I'm like, yeah, imperfect action. I went there, and I'm like, okay, repeat that question for me.
So let's just continue on the thread of,
okay.
Is it the right time? What happens when things are going really well, and you're waiting for the shoe to drop?
There it is. So we all know the law of gravity, right? What goes up must come down. So that's going to happen whether we are waiting on it or not. So I like to take the perspective of, I don't have to wait on it because it's going to happen. So let me be in motion, so when it does happen, it's okay. You don't even have to stress about it because it's going to happen. But getting a plan and a contingency for when it does happen, and like Rick was saying, having those buckets and being ready to protect and to be ready for the things that are going to change, then you don't even have to worry about the shoe falling, because it's going to fall. But if you're ready when it falls, that doesn't even affect you. So that's what I was thinking.
I love it. And something that I say a lot of times, or that I've seen, is when we're in a growth, let's just talk about a health journey, for example. Say you start at the gym. The first day you go to the gym, you've never worked out before, you're weak, and that 15-pound dumbbell is really heavy. And you can maybe only do 3-5 bicep curls with that 15-pound dumbbell. But after you've been going to the gym for a while, you're grabbing the 25s and the 30s, and you're whipping out, a full set. And then all of a sudden you catch a cold, or you fall off the bandwagon, if you will, for a couple of weeks, life happens. When you go back to the gym, you don't go back to where you can't lift that 15-pound dumbbell. You may have to go from the 35s to the 30s, but you're not back to where you can't grab the 15. So even though you're working and you're growing, and the shoe might fall, or there'll be a setback, it's not going to take you back down to the base zero. Your new baseline is going to get stronger and stronger if you're in the gym example. Or the same thing with the stock market, right? You use the example of, look at it over time, the highs keep going. Well, but the trend is generally up.
There's only been one direction that we've seen so
Yeah,
far.
up and to the right.
I would also add with the shoe dropping imagery, when the shoe drops, what's going to be the surprise that we cannot see, right? Such as, for example, let's say, I don't know, the pandemic,
Right.
perhaps? Okay. When those moments happen, again, it's a mindset thing, at least for myself. When that shoe drops, is this a problem or is this an opportunity to stand out? It's really gold when you think about it. When, say, the pandemic happened, people freeze, what do I do, etc. Wow, what better chance in whatever you do in your industry to stand out, to reach out to your clients and or your prospects, to show up in a way that allows you to show up when everyone else is frozen. This is my frozen pose. Okay? That's how I like to see those things too. There's always good news in everything.
I love it. Find the silver lining. We talk about the silver lining a lot. So we have to unfortunately take a brief break, but before we do, what did you hear in the last 15 minutes or so that you're like, wow, that's what I want to take action on? I'll tell you what I heard. I heard flip the script. And every time, if there's a stumble, what is the opportunity? Where is the silver lining? How can I grow? How can I learn from this? Because the reality is we fail a lot in business. We fail a lot in life. We get a lot of failures on the way to our success. So as I leave you for the next couple of moments, think about what is it that you want to do? How do you want to flip the script in your business or your life? And we'll see you in a few moments.
Are you a business owner feeling overwhelmed or burnt out with no energy left for what's most important to you? In order to effectively run your business and maximize your profits, you have got to be the best possible you that you can be. Now is the time to reclaim your energy, master your schedule, and maximize your profits so you can effectively run your business rather than it running you. It's time to become the CEO of your business and life. I'm Jen Gaudet, a business strategist and life coach. I work with overwhelmed business owners who feel stuck in a rut and depleted. I teach you how to stop doing the things that aren't making you money and start prioritizing the things that bring you energy, joy, and lasting impact. I'm a human performance specialist and an international best-selling author. I've helped countless people all over the world to learn the art of saying no, overcome their fear, and maximize their performance. Let's get you to live your best possible reality. Start today and become the CEO of your business and your life.
Ahora la televisión es para todos. Now Media Televisión, la primera cadena bilingüe de los Estados Unidos, pone el poder de la radio y la televisión abierta al alcance de todos los negocios. Si usted tiene un negocio propio, es contratista independiente, agente de bienes raíces o prestador de servicios, puede usted a partir de hoy anunciarse en programación de primer nivel, tanto en radio como en televisión abierta en múltiples ciudades de los Estados Unidos, con una suscripción de $199 al mes. Es momento de generar dinero y conectar con su cliente ideal. Now Media es el aliado perfecto para el pequeño y mediano empresario. Llámenos hoy al 832-384-9588 y permita a Now Media Televisión ser parte de su éxito.
If you are looking for someone who can provide stunning photography and videos and knows exactly what it takes to get your listing sold or boost your personal brand, Matt Pierce Photography is your solution. My focus is on helping you make the very best first impression that you possibly can. We help you use images and videos effectively in your brand and marketing design to tell your story. Give your corporate image the presence it deserves. Your headshot and your branding is your first impression with clients and business partners. What message are you sending? At Matt Pierce Photography, we believe that pictures and video make information easy to remember, so it makes your message stick. With clean, sleek, simple, and powerful, well-edited images and videos will make you stand out from the crowd. Get your products or listings sold quicker and establishing you as an expert, attracting new clientele. We also offer an array of other products and services such as video walkthroughs, property and agent commercial videos, and a full-service video production house to help bring your story to life. See, when you grow, we grow. So let's grow together. Matt Pierce Photography is your solution for your real estate, corporate, branding, or marketing photography and video needs. Take a decisive step on growing your image and telling your brand story. Call me today for a free consultation.
Welcome back to CEO Mondays with Jen. We have been in studio talking about all kinds of amazing things with our financial advisor and chief experience officer, and also our amazing coach extraordinaire and partner in Odyssey Now TV. We've talked about a lot of things today. Now I want to kind of rewind the clock a little bit. Rick, you've been in your business for 20 years and you've been in the industry for 30. Can you think back to Rick, who was just starting his own business 20 years ago, and tell me, with everything you know now, with everything that you've experienced, is there one thing that you wish you could tell that younger version of you?
Yes, from a personal standpoint, believing that I deserve, to talk with people of caliber that I felt like I had no time I should be spending with them. I didn't feel like I was worthy to be spending time with them. It was a limiting belief. It was a limiting belief. And I'd say professionally, when it comes to my business, focusing more on the experience than the nuts and bolts. Again, I'm a left brainer. I thought for the longest time, years and years, that the key to success in my business was being a walking encyclopedia to recite IRS codes and tax laws and all this jazz. And don't get me wrong, it's important to know your stuff when it comes to that. However, the client on the other side, that didn't resonate with them. They just want to know, is everything taken care of? Do I like my guy? Is the relationship solid? And looking back, my own personal expenditures, where I spend my money, I gravitate to the places that make me feel good as a person, that I feel cared for, that I'm touched, and that whoever that is, they care about me, they care about my family, they care about my interests. So those are the kinds of people that I like to do business with. Had I used that as my torch when I first started, gosh, I don't know where I'd be today. But like we say, you live and learn as time goes on. And that's why I call myself the CEO, the Chief Experience Officer. I'm always looking to level up. How can I create an experience that I'm touching and I'm reaching out to my clients so that they feel heard, that they feel special? That's very important to me, because they are, in the end, they're friends, they're family to me. That's how I treat my clients, because I want them to know that I feel that way about them.
I love it. Chief Experience Officer. Tell that younger version of yourself to go for the relationship first and stop talking about all the things.
Yeah.
I love it. Paula, how about you? If you could go back in time.
So in thoughts about our whole episode today and the awesomeness of having Rick here is, I would have told myself to get a financial advisor, like honestly. And a lot of people say, yes, get a coach. And that would have been part of my coaching squad and team, is to get a financial advisor. And I would have even said to have one even before I started the business, because then I would have had a better foundation to start my business. Then I would have not had to worry about some of the things that you have to worry about when you're not financially stable, and about debt, and then being able to get to that second bucket faster and that third bucket faster. So when I look back and thinking about all the things that Rick was sharing with us about the importance of having someone to help us manage our money, I would have gotten one earlier in my career, in my life, and then in my entrepreneurial journey.
You know what the good news is about money management, wealth management, etc. Many people may believe that it's all about, say, investment selection. And, that's probably 10% of it. the other 90%, the key to great results in not just your money, but I'd say your health and any other aspect of your life, is your behavior. It's the actions that you take and the actions that you don't take will translate into the results in your life when it comes to all of that. So I find myself in my shoes being more of a, frankly, a behavior coach than anything.
It's so right. And you know, like we've talked about this, actually Paul and I have talked about this a lot before, and that's, it doesn't matter whether you're talking about your health, your relationships, your finances, your business, doesn't matter which you're talking about, it's the actions that you take, because you have to take an action consistently. It's the consistency of the actions you take, so that those actions just become a part of who you are, and you're no longer deciding to do it. You don't decide to get up and go work out every single day. You decide you're going to get healthy once, and then you take action on that decision every day. And so a lot of times we think, well, I gotta decide if I want to go for a walk or a run, or I want to go to the gym. No, that's wrong. You choose once. And then it's taking action. So you're right, it's that behavior. And once every day you go to the gym and all of a sudden you feel like you have the energy to do it, it's not even a question. The gym is just a part of your daily routine. Then you take your next habit or behavior. Maybe it's, okay, great, I've got my health in order. Now I'm going to get a financial advisor, and I'm going to start putting a little bit away every single month so that I don't notice it. And it might hurt at first because you're not used to putting that amount of money away. But as you put it away and put it away and put it away, you forget that it's even there because you're paying yourself first. We started our conversation today. Entrepreneurs don't pay themselves first. When you start paying yourself first, it just becomes a part of who you are, and your lifestyle adjusts to that. But on the other side, your money is growing. So I love the behavior management side of advising, because as a coach in business, it's exactly what we do with all of our clients.
It is so true what you say, that pay yourself first. You list, who am I paying my money to? My housing payment, my electricity, groceries, etc. Those are all very vital. Yet, you know, you're important too. You're important too. You should be creating a bill for yourself that should frankly land right on top of everything else. In my view.
I love that you said that. I have for very many years. It's our first bill. It's our first bill that comes out in the first of the month is what we put into our retirement nest egg. And then we do other things as well. But it's so important that we put ourselves in the top line and pay ourselves first. Unfortunately, I hate to say this, but all good things must come to an end. And we're drawing near the close. So I would love for you to give just one action you would love our audience to take today. And how can they reach you? Because some people might be listening on the podcast.
One action would be, what's the one new action, or I would say inaction, that you can do starting tomorrow? Just that 1% change. Is it going out to eat one less time per month? Is it starting that pay myself first on the list of the bills? Or if you've got that, maybe inch it up a little bit more. What's that one small change that you can do tomorrow? And then what's another small change that you can do the very next day? And then the very next day. Just very, very small baby steps. And if you do that every single day of the year, guess how many changes you get to make?
That's a lot of changes.
365. And when the rocket ship moves from the Earth to the moon, that if they're off by like one smidgen, that puts them way off course. So they've got to do some little changes along the way. And what I'm describing is your own personal interjourney galactical changes that keeps you on the right track, and perhaps even the track to the moon. How does that sound?
I like it. And how can our viewers and listeners get in touch with you?
You can first check out my website, which is salmoronfinancial.com. My phone number on the screen, 214-828-9576. And I'm on Instagram, which is @RickSalmoron.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. And Paula, how about you? What is one quick thing you can share with our audience that they could take away today and put into action?
Choose The fact that you choose gives you power to start, like Rick was saying, taking those little bitty steps forward. And like Jen said, it's one choice. I choose to be healthy. I choose to be wealthy. Choose. Even not choosing is a choice. So choose to move forward and not choose to just stand still. And that goes into the taking action. So choose to go visit the website, odysseynow.tv, and you will see all of the wonderful coaching and nuggets that we have, like what we talked about today. Choose to visit us at odysseynow.tv.
Fantastic. Thanks for joining me again in studio.
Absolutely.
And you, yes, you've heard it. Choose. And I'm going to leave you with something that we've heard a lot. Whatever you are not changing in your life, you are choosing. So whatever area of your business or your life you're not happy with, today decide what change you're going to make and take action, because knowledge is a small part of the equation. We've just given you a whole bunch of different options to take to improve your health and your wealth in your life or in your business. So what action are you going to take? And don't wait. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week. But implement today one small thing like Rick was talking about, and that small thing will change the trajectory and get you to the moon. We will see you same time, same station next week. But until then, go and win today, win this week, and we'll see you next week.
This has been a Now Media Television feature presentation. All rights reserved.